Hello everyone, I am thrilled to welcome you to Teachings of the Prophet Joseph Smith. My name is Bryce Dunford and I am thrilled to be the instructor. I'm honored to have you join us. We're going to focus in this class on the non-scriptural teachings, writings, sermons of the prophet. I think we all know that the Book of Mormon came through Joseph Smith, the Doctrine and Covenants came through Joseph Smith, the Pearl of Great Price came through Joseph Smith, and we're very familiar with those documents. We study them every 4 years. And so I'd like to focus on what we're less familiar with. We're going to take a look at the writings and sermons of Joseph that didn't make it into the scriptures. Things like the King Follett Discourse, the Sermon in the Grove, the Lectures on Faith. We're going to look at some of the other accounts of the first vision. We have the 1838 account that's in the Pearl of Great Price, but I'd like to look at the 1832 account, the 1835, the 1842. There's some great gems we gather in those other accounts of the first vision. We're also going to take a look at some of the letters that he wrote and some of the sermons that he gave, again, that didn't appear in the scriptures. My goal is that you get to know him. When Moroni appeared to Joseph Smith, he said that good and evil would be spoken of concerning Joseph Smith. And then the Lord said to an imprisoned Joseph Smith, who had found himself sitting in a cold Missouri prison for 6 months, Liberty Jail, he said the following: "The ends of the earth shall inquire after thy name, and fools shall have thee in derision, and hell shall rage against thee. While the pure in heart, the wise and the noble and the virtuous shall seek counsel and authority, and blessings constantly from under thy hand. Thy people shall never be turned against thee by the testimony of traitors." We live in a day when, in fact, all hell is raging against Joseph. They are attacking him. They are attacking his personality, his life, his teachings. But we live on a day where the pure in heart, the wise, the noble, the virtuous, are seeking his counsel. So I invite all of the wise, the noble, the pure in heart, who want to know truth, to come to know the prophet Joseph Smith and come to know his teachings and his sermons. So we're going to tackle a few that you may not be familiar with. Our purpose is to get to know the prophet, but also to talk about the doctrines that he taught, to love them, to live them, to learn what they are. So welcome. Here's how we're going to handle this course. I have received a lot of feedback from my students that they would rather not log into a system like Canvas. I totally respect what other teachers are doing. We've been asked to teach classes from Canvas, but I've also been given permission to just run this course off of my website, brotherdunford.org. That's how you found this video. So here's what we'll do. Every Wednesday, when we're supposed to be meeting, our scheduled time, I will post a new class. It may come a little bit before. I'll try not to let it ever happen afterwards, but you should expect a new class sometime on Wednesday. I invite you to watch the class. Then I'm going to give you two options. One, if you're more comfortable just privately between you and I, then I'd like you to text me and share your thoughts, your insights. I'm going to end every class with a couple questions, and I'd love you to ponder one of those questions or all of them and then respond to me. If you want to just communicate with me, that's totally fine. And then you and I can carry on a conversation about what you learned and what Joseph taught in this week's class. The other option, and I'd encourage you to consider this, is a class chat. You'll find a link on the website that you can enroll in a group me chat. And I'd love to have everyone enroll in that group me chat. And then the other option is to answer the questions and share your insights with the class. Now, I know some of you are less comfortable chatting with everyone, and so I'd like to throw in the option of just responding to me. But I also know that many of your colleagues take classes like this because they want to hear what their friends have to say, what their peers have to say. How do they interpret the gospel? How do they live it in their lives? And so I'd strongly encourage you to participate in the group chat. That's where we'll be able to share ideas. Now, every single week, there's going to be a reading. And so part of getting credit for this class is to make sure that you read the documents that are part of the class. Now, if you want to read them beforehand and then listen to the class, that's great. If you want to listen to the class and then go back and read the document, that might be a little bit better, because having heard the class, you can then go to the original document, the sermon or the teaching, and then maybe get more out of it having heard the class. So you decide if you want to read before or after, but I'd encourage you to read each week's readings. Credit will be given for the class if you listen to the videos, and that's just kind of an honor system. Did you watch the videos? Did you participate to some degree in the chat, either privately between you and me or with the class? And then did you read each week's readings? If you do that, you'll get credit for the class, those of you who are interested. If you're not interested in the class, that's totally fine. Just come and enjoy. I hope you'll get to know the prophet Joseph Smith and learn something from him. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Here is my phone number and my email address. Don't hesitate to call, text, or email with any questions you may have. I'm happy to answer them. Those of you who are choosing to respond to the questions each week directly to me, this is the text number that you'll use. I'd encourage you to just put me in your address book so that you can communicate with me quickly. Those of you who are choosing to go through the GroupMe account, the link is on brotherdunford.org. Make sure you tap on the link and you sign yourself up for the class. I'd encourage you to download the GroupMe app, because if you don't, you'll get a text every single time someone makes a comment. It's much more convenient to download the GroupMe app and then just make sure you open it up, and then that's where the conversations will be. I leave you with my testimony that he was, in fact, inspired by God. He was called of God. He is the prophet of the restoration. I love that man. I have spent my life studying his words, and I will testify he was a prophet. And I, for one, will always constantly seek blessings from his hand.